Hi everyone. This video is sponsored by GAOMON, who was cool enough to send me a tablet to review. It's pretty big, around 21 inches diagonally, which was very terrifying to handle. But it did come with a built-in stand, which is pretty neat. Makes it way easier um, to adjust the height of it since it's a bit too big for me to draw on flat. And I will put a disclaimer here that I am very unused to drawing on tablets that are standing, but I did want to give it a try since it felt very professional. So that so you can see why I chose to draw something simpler since I was having trouble trying to figure out where to put my weight. But this is completely on me. I have a tendency to put my entire weight on my elbow and wrist, which is not very good. Don't do that. I'm pretty sure that'll give you like carpal tunnel or something. Um, but yeah, it was pretty stable, and the tablet didn't like wobble or shake or anything when I drew on it, even when I put like a lot of pressure behind some of my strokes. So I really like that part. When you open it, you will have to mess around with the settings a little bit since the color temperature was really off for me. It isn't very difficult to do, but you will have to mess around. I'm not sure if it's just me, but the color gamut was a little bit less than I would like, and the shift of color temperature felt too abrupt when I was changing things. Not too noticeable, but something to look out for if colors is super important for your work. Everything might either look a little bit more yellow or a little bit more like bluish, depending on how you calibrate it. But it's not like too bad. It's not too noticeable. I just I have like three separate monitors. The pen was a bit too light for me since I prefer my styluses to be a bit more weighted, but if you do prefer lighter styluses, this one is good. It also has a little tilt function, which is neat, almost like when you tilt a pencil to shade larger surfaces. It's not super sensitive, definitely less than when drawing straight on, but it's still there if you want to have a fun little texture when sketching. There are 8 shortcut keys on the right that you can customize, so I kept mine relatively default. It's kind of like a touch screen, which I can never get over when I try out these kinds of stuff. They're all like lit up and pretty sensitive. You can just sort of tap it and it works. There are also additional buttons on the right for settings and brightness and stuff. That's how you calibrate like the color gamuts and the color temperature and stuff like that. You will have to press 6 seconds to activate it. And yeah, I kept forgetting that. I also really like the screen. It's really smooth. This is a me thing, but if texture is at all a problem to you, as I know it is with some of my viewers, the screen is basically the same feel as glass. It's really smooth. My stylus just completely glides across it without it being like too slippery. The driver is also pretty easy to work with. You just download it off their website and tinker around with your preferred pressure sensitivity and any shortcut keys you want to calibrate. So I changed some of my shortcut keys from like zooming in and out to undo, redo, stuff like that. It's a solid tablet, though it felt a little off balance since I'm used to more weighted equipment. The colors were an issue for me since I like to play around with exact color combinations, but otherwise I like it a lot. I like how it feels and how easy it is to work with, and it is a really it's a huge tablet. And despite that, okay, don't no one tell Gawan this. I accidentally dropped it like once because I wasn't holding it properly and it did not break. So that's another point in their favor. It's sturdy. It's pretty sturdy. All in all, I will give it a 9 out of 10. And yeah, I really like it. I want to thank Gaomon again for sending me this tablet, and they also wanted me to let you know that they're officially holding a Halloween lottery on Instagram that will end on the 31st, October 31st. I will put the link in the description as well as the links to their shops and like other tablets and stuff. Anyways, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.